I caught the scent of burning before I ever saw the blaze. Smoke slid through the darkness like a warning note, sharp, thin, unmistakable. I was still half running, half gasping when I rounded the corner and went still. My lover's car was engulfed. Fire clawed upward in frantic swallows, devouring the paint, the glass, the final scraps of secrecy I believed I still owned. And all I could think was he came home early. My husband wasn't supposed to return until dawn. 20 minutes earlier his message had appeared. Flight moved. Arriving sooner. See you soon. See you soon. A phrase that suddenly felt like a threat. I stood there, my heart locked inside my chest, watching the flames spread. No weaknesses. No sirens. Just a steady, intentional burn. Far too intentional. My phone vibrated against my skin. One unread message from him, my husband. 3 words. Come inside alone. The chill threaded into those words froze me more thoroughly than the heat coming off the burning car. I walked to the front door with a kind of practiced numbness, as if part of me had been bracing for this moment far longer than I cared to admit. Inside, the house held its breath. Too quiet, too controlled. And then I saw the first trace of him, my lover. His shirt lay crumpled on the floor, ripped straight through. I didn't need to touch it to know it was staged. A signal, a breadcrumb, a confession without sound. I swallowed down the metallic taste of fear and moved toward the bedroom. Toward truth, toward consequence, toward the ending I had been pretending would never come. I used to believe I hid things flawlessly, my pauses, my unexplained nights out, the lies gentle enough to blur into daily life. My husband never challenged them. Or maybe he did, silently, in ways I never recognized. He wasn't a man who yelled. He filed away anger the way others stored valuables, carefully, quietly, meticulously. And maybe that should have frightened me long before tonight. The house felt shifted, as though someone had rearranged the very air. Lights dimmed, curtains drawn, his cologne hanging too thick in the space. More of my lover's things appeared as I walked. His belt, socks, a watch with the face cracked inward. Each object placed with deliberate spacing, guiding me down a trail I didn't want to follow. A dark path of breadcrumbs, a narrative crafted without a single spoken word. My mind kept trying to negotiate with reality, but the truth was laid out everywhere, stripped open, organized, displayed like a personal crime scene, arranged so I couldn't mistake its meaning. Somewhere deep inside, a voice whispered. He knew all along, and he waited for the exact moment to show you. By the time I reached the hallway, the last of my denial had already splintered, and I stepped into the bedroom. The room wasn't dim. It was arranged. A cold lamp in the center, a single chair, my husband sitting there with his elbows on his knees, watching me with eyes entirely absent of warmth. And behind him, my lover on the floor, naked, beaten, bound, trembling, not dead, not free, not untouched, alive solely because my husband had decided he could be. My voice failed. My lungs locked. My husband regarded me the way a surgeon studies a patient already deemed unsalvageable. You lied beautifully, he murmured, almost convincingly. Almost. His calm steadiness was more terrifying than any outburst. He reached into his pocket and lifted my lover's phone. Unlocked. Screen open. Our messages displayed. Every lie, every hidden touch, every secrecy preserved in pixels. Do you know what the fire outside is? He asked. I didn't respond. His smile held no emotion at all. A funeral. For your excuses. My lover whimpered through the gag, barely audible. But I couldn't look at him anymore. Not after what I'd brought down upon both of us. My husband lifted something else, a small USB drive. You should hear what he admitted, he said, voice level, measured, lethal. He had recordings, messages, evidence extracted through means I refused to imagine. My world crumpled inward, slow and excruciating, exactly as he intended. He rose and moved toward me in unhurried, deliberate steps. Do you know why I didn't kill him? He whispered. I couldn't move. I wanted you to see him alive, to understand what choosing him cost you. He placed the USB into my hand. Watch it after I'm gone. Maybe then you'll finally recognize yourself. He walked past me, brushing my shoulder lightly, as though I were a stranger whose name he couldn't quite recall. At the doorway he paused. I forgive your weakness, he said, but I'll never respect it again. Then he left. Calm, finished, complete. I looked at the man on the floor, the one I thought I wanted. He couldn't lift his gaze. His body shook too violently. Firelight flickered through the curtains, carving unsteady shadows across him, reminding me that each step I'd taken had led directly here. He tried to speak through the gag, pleading, apologizing, begging, but there was nothing left inside me. No fear, no fury, no love, only clarity. I gathered his scattered clothes one by one and dropped them beside him. Go, I said softly, before he decides he isn't done. The terror in his eyes told me he understood. He crawled out of the room like a man fleeing a nightmare of his own making. I sank onto the edge of the bed, my hands trembling only under the weight of truth, not regret. The USB rested warm in my palm, as though it contained a pulse. Proof of betrayal, proof of consequence, proof of who I had chosen to become. I didn't play it. I didn't need to. I already knew the truth. Not about him, not about my husband, but about myself. Some endings arrive quietly. Some devour everything. Mine walked out the front door without a backward glance, leaving me standing in the ashes I created.